Hey there guys, I am the Six Machine and welcome back to another Warhammer video. We are here yet again, for better or for worse, with some more Eldar previews. This time though, it's a bit more exciting because instead of the simple Guardians, we are today looking at one of the coolest set of units in the entire game in my opinion, and that is of course the Aspect Warriors. So first up, a brand new shared rule among all of the Infantry Aspect units. Their Aspect Armour now gives them an additional layer of protection with a 5-up invulnerable save. They generally had, I think, all a 3 or a 4-up armor save anyway, so this will definitely help to keep them alive, especially with the sheer volume of -2 and better AP that is being thrown around the game at the moment, not least of which from the Eldar themselves, as we will see in just a second, and that means that their relatively flimsy Toughness 3, again, we'll see more about that in just a second, but their Toughness 3 bodies have at least a good bit of durability from their saves, even if it is still going to be relatively easy to wound them. On the actual unique aspects themselves though, first up we have the Dire Avengers, who, as many suspected, have indeed gone to the elite slot from the troops, which is a bit of a nerf in some ways as they were a very good troops option, but on the other hand, with the new and improved Rangers and Guardians that Eldar are getting, I honestly don't think that Eldar are going to struggle too much with their troops choices now anyway. And I mean, thematically, it does fit with all of the aspect units being, you know, elite. The Dire Avengers gun, the Avenger Catapult, has had a monumental boost though, with now not only an extra shot at Assault 3, but also going from no AP to a flat -2 AP base, which means that as well with the Shuriken rule that they have, which adds an extra 2 to your AP on wound rolls of 6, your Dire Avengers will now be able to get a -4 AP on their guns, which will of course completely remove any 3-up saves. This is incredibly strong and makes them a really solid elite choice for just shredding through enemy elite infantry, enemy normal infantry, even hordes are just going to fall to not only that very strong AP, but also the fact that they have 3 shots each, so they do have relatively good rate of fire as well. 15 shots from a minimum 5-man squad is still going to just chew through big 10, 20, 30-man blobs of weak toughness 3 infantry. And again, to me, just on a personal note, this just makes things like assault bolt rifle intercessors just look so bad by comparison. Of course, on the topic of looking bad by comparison, let's move on to the next aspect, the fire dragons. And boy oh boy, these guys have got beefy. I mean, literally beefy. They are now Toughness 4. Yep, the Toughness 4 Eldar meta is well and truly here. So they are sporting a Toughness 4 3-up save, 5-up invuln. These guys are now essentially 1 wound marines with an invuln, but they are just a lot faster and a lot more heavily armed. Did I mention their fusion guns got buffed as well? Because they did, quite drastically. Gone is the pathetic strength 8 Melta that other armies have. We need more than that. So now, despite keeping the same 1 shot at 12 inches, which is a bit of a restriction, I'll admit, the Fire Dragon fusion guns are now a terrifying strength 9, and unlike all other Melta that most armies have, they don't need to be in half range to get their damage boost. They are just d6 plus 2 damage all of the time. On top of that, they still keep their Assured Destruction rule, which gives them reroll wound rolls of 1 against monsters and vehicles. These guys genuinely are terrifying. A squad of 5 will on average get just under 2 unsaved wounds against something like a knight, and with a minimum of 3 damage, maximum of 8 damage, you could well be doing 16 wounds to a knight in a single volley, and even with average rolling, you will still be chunking a good 8 to 10 wounds out of a knight with these guys. Yes, of course, they are short range, which is a limiting factor, but that boost to Toughness 4 and the 5-up invuln will massively help to keep them alive to get in range of your target. And then of course, being Eldar, you do have things like Wave Serpents or just using the Webway portal to teleport them in. There are some very good, very efficient ways to get these guys where you need them to be. they are, I think, going to be an absolute beast of a unit, and it's going to make even things like Crusher Stampede Tyranids quite scared to get too close to your Eldar lines. The final aspect they show off today is another one that's had a really big boost, and that is the Warp Spiders, who can now very firmly take the anti-horde crown with ease. Their Death Spinners have jumped from 2 shots at strength 6 no AP to now D6 shots at strength 6 minus 2 AP and having the blast rule. So as long as you are firing at bigger squads, this is always going to be an upgrade. And even against, small or single target units, with average rolling on a D6 being 3.5, you should almost always come out ahead compared to that old 2-shot profile. And of course, that extra minus 2 AP on top is just a really nice cherry on the cake for getting through any 5 or 6 up armor saves that things like Guardsmen or other Horde-style infantry tend to have. The article also mentions that they get a boost to their battle focus, being able to roll twice as many dice as normal, so getting 2d6 for their advance rolls and such before they are able to fire. So these guys, the Warp Spiders, are going to be extremely nippy and a major pain to lock down for your opponent, because they can just jump away and hide behind terrain after you've fired, or move a huge, potentially 12-inch advance on top of their movement to get into some cover when they need it. So that is it for today. Some very awesome, I have to admit, new rules and abilities coming for the Eldar aspects, and it is making me really excited to see what is coming for the Howling Banshees and the Striking Scorpions, which are probably my favourite aspects, to be honest. The article does mention that tomorrow there is going to be a whole article about the Howling Banshees, so it's going to be really interesting to see what new abilities and powers and buffs they get. We've seen a few things teased from the leaks, so I think they are going to be very killy in combat if any of those are true. But what do you make of the rules that we have seen today? Are they everything you were hoping for, or do you still think that Eldar may struggle against certain armies? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, thank you very much for watching. Please do like and subscribe for more Warhammer content from me, but until next time, I'll catch you later, guys.